Now, Nigeria's Senate has said no date has been fixed for passage of the 2018 budget. The budget was presented by President Muhammadu Buhari on November 7th last year. This would be the second time the Senate said no date had been fixed for the passage. Buhari had presented the budget proposal 1 month earlier than those of 2016 and 2017 to enable the country return to the January to December fiscal calendar. And for more on this, I'm joined by Deji Badmas, who joins us now live from Lagos. So, Deji, the passage of the budget has been delayed. How are government operations being funded?
Well, Penina, remember that the 2017 budget was not passed until June of 2017. That's 6 clear months now into the year. So the understanding from the explanation of the Minister of Budget and National Planning now is that the lifespan of the 2017 budget will run until June 2018. Now, if the 2018 budget was passed, for instance, before June, then it overtakes the 2017 budget. So what you could effectively say Nigeria is currently running is the 2017 budget. That's what it is, Penina.
Right. So, Deji, as I understand, in a delay like this, the federal government can continue with recurrent expenditure with the prior financial year's budget as a ceiling, but capital expenditure is entirely on hold. So what effect is this delay having on urgent capital projects?
Well, that's exactly in a situation where you do not have a budget in operation. Let's just say, for instance, the 2017 budget was passed sometime in January, and this is March, and we don't have a 2017 budget. Then it means the country, 2018 budget now, it means the country wouldn't have had a budget. So that is when that clause would become operational. But as we speak today, you have the 2017 budget. The lifespan of that budget has not been exhausted. It's still on. As I said, the budget was passed in June of 2017. So the lifespan would not expire until June of 2018. Of course, if the 2018 budget was passed, it will overtake the whole process. So capital project has actually not stopped. Projects are still going on. As a matter of fact, the government has not been able to raise the entire revenue now budgeted for capital projects in 2017. So you still have capital releases, and capital projects has not stopped at all. Capital projects, I should say, have not stopped at all in any way.
And then, Deji, we have the legislators who apparently want to have budgets from other state entities, such as the Central Bank, the SEC, and the NNPC as well, so that all of them can be passed together. When are these documents usually presented together so that we have all the budget calendars in sync?
Well, Penina, that's what the lawmakers are saying, but what the government, what the executive is saying is completely different. As a matter of fact, the Director General of the Budget Office some time ago held a press conference where he denied what the senators were saying. He basically said all the budgets of all the government agencies had come in. As a matter of fact, what he explained at the time is that what you do not have, what the Senate does not have a complete record of, or the National Assembly, I should say, does not have a complete record of, is the budget of what you would want to call government-owned enterprises. That usually their budget comes separately from that of the government budget per se. So, and that, you know, that these institutions that you've mentioned now, like the CBN, the NNPC, that they have actually not submitted their budget, as in the format now that the Senate wants it, does not mean that the lawmakers cannot actually pass the budget, as in pass the budget of the federal government. So, you know, it depends on which side you're talking to. But the most important thing is that the president of the country actually met with the president of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives last night, and the outcome of that meeting is that the president has directed all the ministries, departments, and agencies of government to answer, the lawmakers' summons to go and defend their budget before the lawmakers. So basically what the lawmakers had been saying before now is that there are certain gray areas they want these MDAs to come and clarify. Now the president has said, well, that he's actually issued the order for all the MDAs now to answer the queries of the lawmakers. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we would have the budget passed.
Right, but Deji, we also know that the Senate has delayed approval of nominees to the central bank's board. So if you take this and then also, consider, of course, the delay in passing the budget, would you say there's a dispute between the legislature and the executive? And if so, what can be done to resolve it?
Well, to be candid, it's quite embarrassing, and people are surprised that the executive and the legislature would be at loggerheads. It's quite unfortunate. And the reason why most people don't understand it in this country is because, look, the executive is controlled by the APC. The majority of, that's the ruling party now, the majority of the members in parliament are APC members. So it's actually difficult to understand why there's this fractious relationship now between the executive and the legislature. But I think the president's meeting yesterday with the heads of parliament is basically to mend fences, and that's the reason why the president has issued that order. Now, in terms of the members of the MPC, well, initially the Senate declined, refused to confirm the members, but now they have changed their mind. As a matter of fact, the Senate has asked its Committee on Finance to screen the members, to screen the nominees now. So I want to believe that in about a week or so, that whole process will be concluded. And of course, you would have the members of the MPC now cleared, and of course they can take their position so that the MPC can form the quorum it requires to sit. All
right, you sound very optimistic. In a few weeks' time, we'll have both the budget passed and the nominees for the board of the central bank. Deji, thank you. A pleasure always speaking to you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Well.